How was Jeffrey Epstein's house?
Unbelievable.
I mean, but what was the occasion?
Bobby Slayton, I, Woody Allen, and Sun Yi.
Oh my God.
Dick Cavett.
Full transparency. We don't want excuses about holding certain things back.
When the Justice Department initially said several months ago, we're not releasing any more information, nothing more to see here, we may have, there's no public use in releasing it.
This is Honestly, and I'm Bari Weiss.
I don't know what to call Bari Weiss.
You know the name Woody Allen. Everybody does. He's made some of the most acclaimed films ever. And
I just don't know.
Hannah and her sisters, and maybe my personal favorite, Vicky Cristina Barcelona. But the list goes on and on and on. And that's because he's made an astonishing 50 movies. You see Allen's influence everywhere, from sitcoms to stand-up to just about every rom-com made since Annie Hall first premiered in 1977. And in the process, he's turned himself into America's most unlikely leading man. Short, thinning hair, wears glasses, and is exceptionally anxious and neurotic.
Wipe more than 4 times after you poop. Here.
I know a lot of people who need to hire someone great, but hate the interview process more than they hate their ex. A great man is in my home. How are you?
I'm okay. Everybody's been so nice to me.
Now, at age 89, Woody Allen is out with his first novel. It's called What's with Mom? The protagonist is an anxious, smart Jewish writer with a messy personal life who gets himself in a great deal of trouble. Yes, it's like a Woody Allen movie, just in book form. It's funny and delightful, but it also touches on a major theme of our age. And that's the idea that an accusation, once made, is as good as a conviction. Allen knows something about that. In 1992, his longtime romantic partner, Mia Farrow, discovered that Allen had begun a romantic relationship with her adopted daughter, Sun Yi Priven.
It's made headlines for years.
Now, so how do you feel now about the fact that both Christopher and I go out with Asian women?
Allen was in his 50s at the time. Sun Yi was just 21.
Allen says he's always been a devoted father, a constant presence in his children's lives.
All hell broke loose, with Farrow accusing Allen of grooming and preying on her daughter.
The conversation was with Sun Yi that you must have understood that you were going to be scrutinized in a rather particular way.
Yes, but I was always scrutinized. And I never mind that. My life has always been a very open book. I mean, even when I first started as a comedian, I always spoke about, freely about my life, about my marriage, about my my girlfriends, about
It usually begins with an emotional domestic breakup, parents fighting over the kids.
The scandal became fodder for tabloids and late-night talk shows, but it soon took a much darker turn.
And then, in the heat of a bitter custody battle, one party charges the other with an unspeakable and frequently unprovable crime, sexually abusing the children. In some cases, no doubt, the allegations are true. In others, a weapon of revenge. It's a story.
When Mia Farrow accused Woody Allen of molesting her young daughter Dylan in August of 1992.
We've done before on 60 Minutes, but this one is different because everyone knows the parents, at least from the movies.
What did you expect?
If you would let me direct him now that he's president.
Whatever we may have, there's no public use in releasing it. Is it possible that they were correct, that there isn't any more information than what's already in the public domain?
Walked into the party. I was the reason why I saw those cameras. God, I realized I was going to walk into a camera fest.
No, that's really not possible.
Go on. Why do you think that?
I mean, I think even what we've seen, right, coming out recently with the work of the House Oversight Committee. Right?
I woke up this morning and I turned to my weather app to check the temperature, and it was 32 degrees. And my first thought was, hell has froze over. These women have fought the most horrific fight that no woman should have to fight, and they did it by banding together.
The idea that Epstein was collaborating with a member of Congress, asking questions about this at one point. The closeness of Larry Summers with Epstein and his wife going back.
These women have fought the most horrific fight that no woman should have to fight, and they did it by banding together and never giving up. And that's what we did by fighting so hard against the most powerful people in the world, even the President of the United States, in order to make this vote happen today. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me.
We've seen, right, where is Trump on this, and what...
There are fundamental questions that you have to ask.
And what does this whole saga tell us about his vulnerability on this issue? Robert, you brought up Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia, and her evolution really feels emblematic of this break with Trump, Trump's closest allies. And now she has since announced her resignation from office and said pretty explicitly that Trump is betraying the movement. So let's talk.
How must I act? What can I know?
Let me
I
explain
feel
to
that you have a morbid interest in it.
Marty is a saint sinner.
His reaction when she found out about Suni?
What happened was crazy behavior that became, terrible rage, death threats.
You once said, I am a gangster and I am a priest.
You can't see one of your children now, and the other one you can. Is that the sort of silly, topsy-turvy manner of it all?
Yeah, why are you so interested in it?
I said to Garvey Dow one day, there's only one of two things you can be. I never heard to say you can either be a priest or a gangster, so you became both.
The worst one of all has been the fact that it has disturbed your relationship with your children.
Yes, that has been very, very painful. There's nothing you can do unless you're experienced at really being in the legal system, in the United States.
Those charges were never proven in court. Indeed, they were twice dismissed. But the court of public opinion was another matter. Today on Honestly, we get into everything Woody Allen, from the accusations to his subsequent cancellation during the Me Too era, to his childhood in Brooklyn, his climb from Flatbush to the commanding heights of American comedy, film, and culture. We talk about how he's changed and how he hasn't at all.
And it's also, there's a piece about accountability, wanting people that not just participated in these crimes, but also that allowed them, that funded them, that looked the other way. I think there's a reckoning for all of that needs to be.
We talk about his marriage to Soon-Yi.
New allegations against her adoptive mother, Mia Farrow.
Soon-Yi, which is still going after 28 years. We talk about his thoughts on Donald Trump.
Trump goes on 60 Minutes. I thought it was
very difficult to watch the administration of CBS News wear the costume of CBS News, getting to cosplay to pretend that nothing is different, even though the very premise of their acquisition of the network was, in fact, at the discretion and blessing of the president. Was the
Talk about his thoughts on Donald Trump, Zora Mamdani, The New York Times, The New Yorker, and American politics more broadly.
There are fundamental questions that you have to ask. What is good? What is beautiful? What is sin? What is virtue? What is justice? What is mercy? Why am I here? How must I act? What can I know? Marty is a saint sinner. There's something saintly in him, in the sense that he asked the questions like God asked the questions, Jesus asked the questions. You once said, I am a gangster and I am a priest.
I said to Garvey Dow one day, there's only one of two things you can be. I never heard to say you can either be a priest or a gangster, so you became both.
And perhaps most importantly, we talk about life, death, and aging as he approaches 90. All of
Her adoptive father, actor and director Woody Allen. At the age of 7, Dylan told her mother, actress Mia Farrow,
Really traumatic context for people to also be told, this is good, this is what God wants.
When you think of
much more after the break. Stay with us.
Taking
Woody Allen, welcome to Honestly.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me here. I thought I would begin this interview with a question about death, given what a big theme mortality is in
and
all of your work.
How close I am to
exactly.
it. I'll be 90.
Exactly.
Mother always used to say, you live to be 100. When I was a little kid, she said, you get older, you live to be 100. My father lived to be 100. My mother lived to be 95, 96 or something, 97. So I thought there was a good shot that I would. I'm not looking forward to it because what happens is people don't know. There is no advantage in growing older. You don't get wiser.
That was some breaking news out of Gwinnett County tonight where police are in the middle of a homicide investigation in Lawrenceville. Police have found a woman and a man dead inside a home here on Clearwater Place, which is just off Lawrenceville Highway. Our crews are on the scene trying to get some more information from police. And as we look,
you don't get wiser, you don't get more mellow. What happens is you deteriorate. Your shoulder goes, your leg goes, you develop something else, and it's not fun, you know. Now, so far, I've been ahead of the curve, but it's just a question of time. By next week or a year from now, you know, I could be walking with an aluminum walker or God knows what else, or, you know, in a hospital bed with a tube down my, you know, I have all kinds of terrible thoughts about it, but
But you're one of America's and maybe the world's most famous hypochondriacs, maybe other than some of the people in my family. And like, you seem to be in excellent health.
Yeah, I've been blessed. I had a very, very lucky life, including good health so far, but I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm an alarmist. There's a subtle difference. I don't imagine that I've got diseases, but when I get chapped lips or something, I think it's fatal. The slightest thing I have, no matter what it is, I think, oh my God, this is the end, this is gonna metastasize, and it's all over for me. But I don't imagine, I don't wake up in the morning and think, you know, oh God, I'm getting something, or I don't, you know, but I am an alarmist. I do panic at the slightest infraction.
The one thing that changes, you're saying not much changes other than the physical disintegration, is a loss of ambition. That doesn't seem to be the case for you at all. Why do you think that is?
That's strictly defensive, because if you obsess over things like the opening line of a novel, or the third act curtain line of a play, or an idea for something, you don't think about the terribleness of life and the tragedy of life. You think about a solvable problem. I either will or won't get a good joke to end the first act of my play. If I don't get a good joke, I don't die. But if I get a good joke, but I spend hours obsessing over it, and that distracts me from the real things in life that I would be thinking of when I don't have distraction. That's why when people wake up in the middle of the night and they don't have the distraction of everything around them, their friends, their traffic, their problems, they start to have morbid thoughts. I mean, I'm sure people do. I know I do. So, you know, I like to work to keep myself obsessed with solvable problems that are hard to solve, and if I don't solve them, nobody comes and gets me.
But otherwise, you'd be thinking about what?
Death, dying, disease, mortality, the finite problems of, you know, the human race.